Hey guys, welcome back to Lynn's Garden. I'm Lynn and I'm here in Austin, Texas, Zone 9A. I'm excited to show you what's been happening in this last month. A lot, but regarding sweet potatoes, a little bit less than a month ago, I put out a video about planting my sweet potatoes to grow sweet potato slips. And I'm going to put a link to that video at the end. So stay tuned. If you haven't gotten your slips started yet, you can watch that previous video. But it's been less than a month, and I want to show you how much growth I've gotten. So on sweet potatoes, what you're going to plant is actually the vine, the green part growing. So this was a potato that I planted with you guys less than a month ago. And I just left them outside in the sun. I kept them wet, but not all the time, let them dry a little bit. And yeah, I got this huge slip. On that same day, I also told you that I had some sweet potatoes coming up in the garden because they are a perennial if you don't harvest them. So they'll just keep coming back. If you miss some, they will come back. So make sure that you don't plant them anywhere that you're not okay with that, just in case. I love sweet potatoes and I am happy for any extra volunteer plants who want to come back next year. And if I forgot a potato, bonus, I get more next year. So what I did was I found a plant that I had some slips already coming up, and I just snipped the ends off of them. So just with scissors, any kind of scissors, nippers, you just cut some of the vines off. I didn't cut it down to the ground, so that one is still growing. In fact, it's probably growing even thicker and better because I pruned it. So basically took these pruned cuttings and put them into a cup of water. And after almost a month, this is what they look like. So I've also had success with taking cuttings and just planting them directly in the garden as well, if it's the right time of year, which is pretty warm. It's a warm season crop. They love the hot weather here. They don't get harvested here until like October or November. So they're gonna be growing all summer, looking beautiful with these vines. And at the end of the season, you can dig them up and get the most delicious sweet potatoes you've ever tasted in your whole life. And so you can definitely see here that the method of planting my seed potatoes, which I saved from last year, so I haven't had to buy any more sweet potatoes since the first time I bought them. If you save your potatoes, you can eat them and then save the littlest ones, especially for seed potatoes for the following year. They will just start kind of sprouting indoors when they're ready, and then you can plant them and get your sweet potatoes ready for the next year. So today we're going to plant these, and I just want to pull this out of the container and see what we got. Oh my goodness, I just have to show you this because this was my biggest sweet potato, and I just decided instead of eating it to plant it. And look at that. That is so fun. So this is some massive roots off of this thing. And I'm going to pull these off and try and keep as much root on it as I can. Wow. Okay, there's a bunch more slips trying to grow on the bottom, so I'll replant some of this. So in this video, we're going to take these slips and I'm going to show you how I'm going to plant them out into my garden for the rest of the season. And at the end of the season, if you stick around, you can watch me harvest them. All right, let's get going. Okay, I am out in my garden and I found a spot where I want to put some of the sweet potatoes. And I also use these just as a cover crop, so I want them to be sprawling everywhere. They can also, with some help, climb up trellises, towers, tunnels, whatever you want. Right now, these are just going to be some sprawling ones, and I'm going to just make some space. I'm moving the mulch out of my way. Look at this gorgeous soil real quick. So dark and crumbly like chocolate cake. It's the best. Okay, so I'm gonna start with this one. And this one has kind of a deeper root, as you can see. So I'm gonna use my hori-hori knife to make kind of a deep hole that it will fit. It's been raining and wow, wormy. Ah, I lost you. Okay, you can go. So there are worms in here. That's always good. Okay. Then sometimes I put my knife in there to kind of hold the hole open, push that in, then I'll just kind of crumble the soil back over it. Okay. And I want the bottom part to be buried. That's gonna grow even more roots. And make sure just the top parts are out. Okay. So that one's in. We're gonna water these in just a little bit to make sure the roots get some soil contact right away, but they don't need to be watered very often, especially now in the spring. In the summer, you will know when they want some water because they start to look very sad and they look like they're dying, but don't worry because as soon as you give them water, they'll perk right back up. They're really tough, so resistant, need practically no care. So it's a great cover crop. And now this one I want to show you. I'm going to make a space right over here. Hold on. And this one's a little bit different. It didn't end up with a ton of roots, but I do have a big chunk of root and this long amount of stem on this vine where I can see, I don't know if you can see that, but I can see tiny little white nodes coming out from the bottom, which are about to make even more roots. So instead of planting this deep, I'm gonna plant this shallow, and I'm gonna plant this entire part here under the soil. So it'll make even more vines and more potatoes. Aren't those pretty? So if you live in Texas, you may see that people use sweet potato vines all the time as an ornamental. So why not just plant some actually edible sweet potatoes? You can do it in a container, and then when the season's done, you just dump it out. That's the easiest harvest ever. Or if you have a yard, plant them. They're gorgeous and they're so delicious. The ones that I got last year after curing them were the most delicious sweet potatoes I've ever had. So much better than anything you could ever get in the supermarket. Okay, so for a more shallow depth, I'm gonna use my Cobra Head tool, which is also available on my Epic Gardening store. So here we go. I'm going to just kind of make it at an angle so that I can fit this right on top. Kind of a longer little trench. Get that in there. And that's it. That's how you're gonna plant your sweet potato slips. So guys, I really hope that you leave a comment and let me know if you're planting sweet potatoes. I hope you got value out of this, and please give me a like if you liked it, share it with your friends, and I'll see you on the next one.